I'm Amy, aka Esky of Esky Knows Vinyl. I own an online-based record store out of the state of Washington, and today I'm very excited to share with you guys a collection I recently acquired. A mind-blowing collection, the type of collection that record store owners dream of. You come across every couple years, if that. We're talking thousands of records, enough hard to find LPs to keep a record store grail wall stacked for a year. Possibly longer than that. Collections like this, they take years of passion, hard work, dedication, hard-earned money to curate and acquire. It's almost like owning a piece of history. As deep as it sounds, it's like owning a piece of the collector themselves, like a piece of their soul. And so I wanted to make this video to kind of show respect and gratitude to the collector for working with me, and just to kind of encapsulate this moment and keep this collection kind of whole in this video before it goes off to different homes and gets spread all over the world to new collections. So in this video, I kind of want to talk about the collector and the collection itself, as well as showcase some of the really cool records that are a part of it. And yes, I did keep a couple, so I'll show you guys some of the records that I kept, which was really hard to narrow down because there's so many good ones. Let's get into it. So I bought this collection from a man named Chris. He is based out of Denver, Colorado. Yes, that is a little far from me here in Washington State. We kind of connected randomly. I was purchasing a Nirvana Nevermind Mobile Fidelity pressing from him. It kind of became comfortable enough where I asked him, do you have more records like this? I'm always looking for more records as a record store owner, obviously for inventory, but also for my own collection. I love anything 90s, anything Seattle, Pacific Northwest related, since I'm in the state of Washington. So I was hoping that maybe if he had Nirvana, he might have some more Nirvana or some more grunge related type records. So he's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. So we exchanged numbers and we talked on the phone, and on the phone he's going on about all the different records he has. He's like, I got a bunch of OG grunge. I have more Nirvana, I have Soundgarden, I have Pearl Jam, I have Temple of the Dog, I have Mad Season, Alice in Chains, Screaming Trees, Green River, just on and on and on. And then he's like, oh yeah, do you like hip hop? I have OG hip hop, 90s hip hop, doom metal, sludge metal, industrial, just punk, all kinds of stuff that I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Trying to keep my composure while talking to him, because I don't see collections like this very often, especially ones that come up for sale, as most collectors, they keep their collection basically. So I'm asking him, so you're looking to sell this? Do you have a price in mind? And he's like, well, I've had some things happen in my personal life. I'm looking to make this big life change. He'd worked 20 plus years at a corporate America type job. And he was ready to pursue his dream, basically quit his job and become a full-time artist. He's an artist, a very talented painter. His name is Chris Stiltner, and here is his website here that I'm showing you guys, so you can kind of check out some of his art. Selling the collection was going to fund a year, basically a year's worth salary, so that he could pursue the dream. And hopefully at the end of the year, he's doing well enough with the art that he can just not look back and go on from there. So that was super cool to me. That takes a lot of courage. We bonded over that because I had similar personal situations in my life. I also quit my job of 8 years, not quite as committed as he was, but 8-year job to dive into the record store business and to open up my own record store. And I kind of knew how scary that was, and I wanted to help him. So the idea that I was helping him pursue his dream, he was also helping me keep pursuing mine and giving me the chance to purchase this type of collection, to have this kind of inventory for my store, which just, you know, something that, again, like I said, every record store owner dreams of being able to buy collections like this. So eventually we worked out kind of a deal. So the price that he had in mind was a lot of money. It was more money than I've ever spent on anything ever. Very fair, but it was just a lot. And we came to a decision that basically I'd pay him in kind of installments. So it would give him time to price the records, to give him time to go through the records, because he wanted to individually price them to kind of get the most out of his collection. And he knew what he was doing. He was a collector who had sold online before, so he knew the value basically of his records. It's not a collection that I just got, oh yeah, $1 a piece. It's a great collection, but I definitely paid up for it. It was like Christmas morning for me. I don't know if when you guys get records in the mail, it's like a little bit like, oh man, it's like Christmas, it's open a present. So I would get boxes and boxes and boxes of records and open them up, and I'm like, oh man, this is grail. So fun to open them up. And I kept a lot of them. I tried to keep as many as possible and keep the collection intact, but some of them I had to sell in order to be able to buy the rest of the collection, because it was that much money. It was a lot of money. So unfortunately, not all of the records I still have, because some of them had to be sold in order to keep buying. But I wanted to honor the collection. I wanted to honor him, and then also kind of like support him in his dream of, being a professional full-time artist, and create a sticker that will go with each one of the records that are purchased from now on. And I kind of got this idea. I've seen other record stores locally do that. I've seen Noble Records, Too Many Records, Mazzy honor collections with stickers or postcards or little inserts. Usually those are in memoriam, but he had to go through a big life change in order to part with his collection, because that's what it is for most collectors. It's a piece of them. So something major has to happen in order for them to be ready to sell their collection. So here's the sticker. This is his original artwork in sticker form here, and I'll show it more close up. But I asked him, what painting do you think best represents your music collection? And he gave me a couple choices, and then this is the one that we went with. I'm really excited to put those with each record, and for a part of him to kind of continue on wherever the record goes, all over the United States and possibly international. There will be a piece of him with his records that he cared so much about, and people get to learn about his art too. So I felt like I was kind of doing a good thing and supporting him in his dream as well. Just like he was helping me fuel my dream of running a record store and being able to sell these kind of records. So you guys want to see some of the records? Like I said, I amassed thousands of records over the 2 months. He did keep a few. He specifically wanted to keep some 90s Canadian alternative bands like Tragically Hip, Our Lady Peace, The Tea Party, because they reminded him of growing up. He grew up in Toronto in the 90s, and those have a special place in his heart. So he kept those for nostalgia purposes, which I totally understand, and I'm glad he did. And these are some of the awesome ones I'm going to showcase. There's so many more. I'm trying to do some flip through videos to insert in here, and photos as well. And there's a lot of them that I already sold too, and I'll try to do like a little slideshow of some of the records that I sold. Those include like OG Stone Temple Pilots, Smashing Pumpkins, Soundgarden, Dr. Dre OGs, 9 Inch Nails, a lot of crazy stuff. So this isn't everything, but this is the sneak peek a little bit of what there is. So starting off here, we have Jeff Buckley. He had a bunch of Jeff Buckley. You'll see I have this sticker in there. All of them are going to have this sticker, and the sticker is going to stay in the sleeve and stay with the record. So Jeff Buckley, he had a lot of signed records that he got signed personally himself. This is Failure, and it's fully signed by the band. Really hard to find original pressing. Crosses. Tough one to get. Yeah, basically the whole discography of Mazzy Star. So here's some of the Mazzy Star, but again, the ones that I'm not showing because I can't show everything. Lots of Mazzy Star. He had Black Sabbath, Vertigo, UK presses. Here's a couple of those. He had basically, there's a couple artists or bands where he collected everything. He he was a completionist when it came to certain people. Neil Young, Tom Waits, anything by Henry Rollins, anything by Mike Patton of Faith No More, anything by Mark Lanigan or Screaming Trees related. He was a completionist. He collected it all. So here is a really hard to find Tom Waits record. There's not a reissue of this record. I think it originally came out in 1992, only in Europe. And he is basically his whole discography, but this is one that I wanted to showcase because it's super hard to find. Speaking of signed records, here's some signed records. This is Shaquille O'Neal's single, kind of funny but really cool. The Big Diesel autograph on there. This one is so sick. Foo Fighters. This is one I'm gonna let go of. It was hard. I couldn't keep everything. Signed by the band, including Dave Grohl, including Taylor Hawkins, who's no longer with us, unfortunately. So that's a hard one to find. Another signed record. Original Mad Season Above. Iconic record led by Lane Staley, supergroup, signed by the drummer. On the cover there, you had basically the whole discography of Queens of the Stone Age. This is the limited on red. Here's another Queens of the Stone Age on orange. Also a tough one to get. A bunch of Green Day, original and hard to find limited pressings. We also had the original Green Day Dookie with Ernie on the back that is no longer with me. It's on to a new home, forever home. He had a lot of Danzig related things. This is some Samhain original Danzig. Ministry had the whole discography pretty much of Ministry. A lot of original pressings. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Guns N' Roses, this with the band cover as well. Here is another original Misfits. Really hard to find record, One Day as a Lion. Complete discography of REM. This is an original Monster, which is crazy. And most of his records are just in incredible condition as well, which is a hard feat. It talks about Mark Lanigan, his side projects. He pretty much had all of his side projects, LPs. Soul Savers, such a good album. Living Color, fully signed by the band. The Roots, signed original. The Black Keys, signed. And a lot of these he shared with me photos of him with the artists after he got things signed. He went to a lot of concerts. So really, really cool that he did that and he shared them with me. This is an original official Marilyn Manson, more original Green Day, Morphine, original Meat Puppets, more Guns N' Roses, this one with the band cover in the shrink. Stone Temple Pilots he had a lot of. This is a solo album by Scott Weiland, and you can see right here, it's signed by Scott, which is really cool. He is no longer with us. More Mark Lanigan offshoot of the Gutter Twins. Mark Lanigan Christmas Project. And I talk about singer-songwriters. Neil Young is another one. He had a ton of Neil Young. This is a really hard to find one here in excellent condition. And tons more of Neil Young and Crazy Horse, as well as solo albums. A bunch of Nine Inch Nails. A lot of them I've already sold, but I have a few originals still left in reissues. Dinosaur Jr. He had a bunch of Dinosaur Jr., basically the whole discography of Dinosaur Jr., as well as Jane's Addiction. This one's original on clear, super cool. More Jane's Addiction. Rage Against the Machine original. He pretty much the whole discography of their work. Down, which is so hard to find. I've sold a couple Down records already from the collection. I have two left, this one and this one here, both grails. I talked about Henry Rollins. He has pretty much everything that Henry Rollins put out and all of his different bands he was in. Those are originals. At the Drive-In on red. Shelves of Distortion original. And we got a Meat Puppets original back there. Just crazy. If you've been enjoying this video and want a chance to purchase some of Chris Stiltner's records for your own collection, I have great news for you. I will be selling them all online on a live stream auction platform called Whatnot. Click the link in the description below. If you're new to Whatnot, it'll give you $15 off your first purchase. No strings attached. It also greatly helps me out, so I appreciate anyone who signs up with the link. Whatnot is a really fun way to interact with the vinyl community. You can talk to other buyers in the chat, and you can see me firsthand as I'm selling records. I show you the record itself, I show you the jacket. It's very transparent. All of the details on the pressing as well as the grading are in the description that you can look at prior to the auction, so everything is very upfront. I ship next day in quality Whiplash or Mighty mailers only, no matter what the sold price is. And I VPI clean all of my used records and put them in new anesthetic sleeves and new outers, so they're as turntable ready as possible. I want you to have the best vinyl experience so you continue to be a vinyl collector. If you give me a chance to sell you your next vinyl record, I greatly appreciate it. I hope to see you there on the Whatnot app. But yeah, let's get back to Chris's records. And his side project with Isabel Campbell, he had basically all of their work together, which is just fantastic and really hard to find. Here are a couple of those. More Soul Savers, Mark Lanigan side project. Tons of Soul Savers, pretty much everything that came out by them. More signs, Mark Lanigan. This is self-release, really hard to find, and it's signed. Another signed one by him here. Another one of his self-released live albums. Here is some grunge that he had. He had a lot of grunge. Pearl Jam, Jeremy Picture Disc, Eddie Vedder original ukulele songs, Hole on Clear from the 90s, Screaming Trees. He had a ton of Screaming Trees, a couple of the really awesome originals. I already have New Homes, Mudhoney, Green River, more Green River, more Mudhoney on Pink. Here we have more Mark Lanigan. I think I already showed that. Just so many records, you guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. Green River, Pearl Jam, Sealed, Screaming Trees, Nirvana, OG, more Nirvana, hard to find 12-inch singles. This one, you guys probably heard of this one. Very hard to find Nirvana blue 12-inch Nirvana. Never mind, they used two originals of these. One on Clear, Soundgarden, Live at I-5. He did have the entire, all three, blue, orange, and he had the Clear that has a new Forever Home. Soundgarden, a bunch of 12-inch singles, originals, Jerry Cantrell's solo album original, more OG Pearl Jam, Live on Two Legs, Yield, Pearl Jam 10, US OG, Versus OG, Bleach OG, there's a bunch of different copies of Bleach. This one is really cool. It's an Australian first press, and it was owned by Gary Lee Conner, who is the guitar player for Screaming Trees. We got some more Social Distortion, Nine Inch Nails. Ramones are another band that he collected pretty much everything that came out by them. These are two live albums by the Ramones that are very hard to find. Temple of the Dog, he had 4 copies of this record. Henry Rollins, he had tons of Henry Rollins. This is one of the Rollins band's releases. I believe they only came out in Europe, hard to find. He had basically the whole discography of the Meters. This is an original pressing. Sublime, basically the whole catalog of Sublime as well. Stone Temple Pilots, this is an original pressing. He had a bunch of SCP, more Soundgarden, so much good stuff. This is a really tough one if you're a hip hop fan. The original pressing with Cop Killer on it. Fudge Tunnel, a band I didn't know about prior, but UK band, really tough to find in the United States. Original pressing of this album. He had a bunch of Mold Fidelity pressings. This is just a couple of them. John Lennon, Marvin Gaye, and David Bowie, MoFi pressings. This is a really cool Sub Pop box set, limited to 5,000, early grunge on here. Really cool. It did come in this generic black cover. In the shrink with the hype sticker is very, Very cool. I'm a hype sticker nerd. I don't know about you guys, but I love anything with a hype sticker. More Screaming Trees, more Pearl Jam. There's a lot of awesome 90s, 80s hip hop originals that he had in this collection, starting with Ice Cube, Method Man and Redman, Blackout 2, more Method Man, Ice Cube Predator OG. He had 2 of them. He had pretty much the whole Guru Jazzmatazz series, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. Mashup of Blue Note artists and Guru from Gangstar together. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it, and they're hard to find. Some Gangstar. This is a lenticular cover, which is really cool. Q-Tip from a Tribe Called Quest solo album. This is Helter Skelter in the Shrink. Outcast original in the Shrink. This is really cool. Jizza Liquid Swords, signed right there, signed by Jizza himself. OG Beastie Boys, more OG Beastie Boys. We got another Gangstar because one wasn't enough. This one's not lenticular, but it is OG. We got 2 ODBs. This one in the Shrink with the hype sticker, and then another original as well. Original Raekwon, more Q-Tip in the Shrink. Little 2000s hip hop here. 50 Cent original. So many bangers on that album. Eazy-E, really, really hard to find Eazy-E record. Cypress Hill, more Cypress Hill. Outkast. Hard to find stuff like Main Source. More Wu-Tang original. More Guru Jazzmatazz. More Raekwon. This one signed right there by the man himself on the cover. More Beastie Boys. Really hard to find RZA solo album on Blue. In original Snoop Dogg Doggy Style, the original pressing. I put this one in the hip hop. It's Black Keys with hip hop artists like Mos Def, RZA. Who else is on here? Some other really good. I own this in my collection. Highly recommend it. But that De La Soul, he had a couple. He had a promo. This one I think is a promo. Yes, promo, not for sale on the label. And he had a second original. Danger Mouse, really cool compilation of the Beatles' White Album and Jay-Z's Black Album, produced by Danger Mouse. Smash It. Wu-Tang. Nas OG. Tribe Called Quest OGs. Black Star original press. Wu-Tang first US original press. Bunch of Digital Underground. More Ice Cube OGs. We got Lethal Injection and Death Certificate here. Original in the Shrink Nozzle-Matic. More Wu-Tang. We got Method Man, Ghostface, and Raekwon. This is not everything at all. There are so many other records. It was so hard to pick which ones to show. There are a lot of albums that might not be high dollar albums, but they're definitely desired collection worthy records. This collection had no fluff. There was no bargain bin records. There's no records that I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be tough selling this record. Like, that's what's so incredible also about this collection, is just the quality of the music and LPs, and just how desirable everything is. Like, again, there's no filler. It's all killer. Now that you guys have seen a fraction of Chris's collection, let me know what you think. Are you as impressed as I am? Leave a comment below and let me know what record from Chris's collection you would most want for your PC. If you want to know what records I kept, I'm sorry, I teased at the beginning of the video that I'd be showing them. It just got a little bit long, so I'm going to make a separate video. I promise it'll be worth it, so subscribe and follow along. It's going to be some epic pieces, some stuff that I didn't show in this video, so it'll be all new. It'll be worth it, I promise. Some things that I could just not let go of. Thank you again to Chris. If you're watching this video, I appreciate you working with me and letting me purchase your collection. It is going to take me a while to adjust to not hearing that doorbell ring and seeing 20 boxes outside and getting to open them up like it's Christmas morning every week for a couple weeks. So that was really fun, and now it's time to sell them and find new homes. You can purchase them. I will be selling them online on Whatnot. Follow me there under Eskino's Vinyl. Follow me also on Instagram under the same name, Eskino's Vinyl. If you want to keep tabs on Chris and his art, his website is dieemptyart.com. And I think he's going to have an Instagram up and running soon, so check him out, I think under that name as well, dieemptyart. But thank you so thank you guys so much for being with me on my very first YouTube video, a full YouTube video. I look forward to doing more collection finds as well as record road trip vlogs and different personal opinion videos on vinyl. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next time.